Shout out to all my revolutionary yogis out there. It's your boy Ian, aka Young Patanjali from yogadelics.com, here today to drop another dope video on the dystopian future of yoga. And where have I been the last 10 months, everybody? Why have I only posted one video? Well, one reason is because I've been killing the game on my literature channel, The Lit Underground, but it's because I told myself that before I returned to the yoga world, that when I came back, I was going to make a splash. I was going to change and rewrite the dystopian future we are heading toward, and hopefully have the tools to bring along some others. And that's what I'm going to do. And here's the summary of that. Very soon, I'm going to start rolling out my project of releasing 10,000 yoga videos, asana videos over the next 5 years for free. Every single variation of asana, classes, videos, technique videos are going to be released because we the yoga community need to get over our asana fetishization, our asana fetish. And by saturating the market and rolling out an insane amount of asana videos for free, hopefully we can start stop focusing as much on that and move into the higher limbs of Ashtanga yoga, then transcending into Raja yoga, then finally chilling out in Bhakti yoga. We can actually talk about the important stuff. People will actually care. I realized that I could either talk to 20 people or I can make asana videos, 10,000 of them actually, and have positive messages in those and then lead them to these types of videos. So that's what's going to happen. We're going to talk about in this video where yoga's heading, why it's not looking good, the causal factors for that, and the solutions for that. This is almost a summary before I kick off this new Yogadelics journey. And just a quick comment on that. This channel was known and website was known as Savvy Zen for a long time, and I shut it all down, everybody. I had thousands of people coming to savvyzen.com a month just from Google searches, and I shut it down because what matters most is a solid brand, and yoga can change our consciousness, much like psychedelics can, but I think in a much more positive and long-term way. And I think that just exemplifies what I'm trying to do here is not just make this, I'm trying to change people's consciousness with yoga. So name change, everybody. Yogadelics.com. The Instagram is Yogadelic because someone had already Yogadelics, but who cares about Instagram anyway? Go watch the video. Instagram. I can't remember. The yoga revolution will not happen on Instagram. So everybody, let's hop into this today. Let's get into this one last time, at least for a while, about what the heck is going wrong in yoga and why it is happening. So yoga is one of the greatest personal development systems in the world. It can transform the body, mind, and soul almost like nothing else. And being able to have all three at once is insane. For instance, gymnastics is probably one of the best calisthenic workouts. Reading and engaging in high-level critical thinking is a great way to change the mind. Gestalt therapy, or just general therapy, psychoanalytical probing, great way to maybe change the soul. Spirituality, but yoga combines all of those if you do it correctly. And especially if you start adding in the Vedic sciences like astrology and Ayurveda and even numerology and stuff, you can start really diving into, it's all a system that's combined. But the way that yoga is being used by almost everybody is absolutely wrong. And it's like, imagine using a hammer to stir vegetables in a skillet. A hammer can do that. We can use yoga to sell $200 yoga pants and to inflate our ego and to escape reality. We can do that, but that's not its real use. Just like a hammer's real use is to hammer things into a wall or into a board. Yoga's real use is to ascend to a certain point of consciousness and then to help others, to share that. Because if one person is suffering, we are all suffering. And if the whole world is suffering, then we are all suffering. And this gets into the concept of higher consciousness. Maybe even whom does the Grail serve, as the Arthurian legend would say? Who is your yoga practice serving? Is it just, we always hear that, serve yourself, set an intention. You are here today to serve yourself. No, you are here today to serve maybe humanity if you're an atheist, or maybe higher consciousness, maybe the divine. And the way to do that is not through capitalist exploitation. It is not through control. It is not through propaganda. It is not through the first thing we're going to talk about today, which is AI. Because I'd like to ask you a question. Are you this beautiful? Are you as beautiful as this girl? And what is beauty anyway? But are you a perfect yoga specimen? Are you that beautiful? Because guess what, everybody? There are a ton of traumatized, inflexible people out there. There are billions of them. Yoga is always going to have fodder for their audience. The yoga corporations are always going to have the fodder for them. And now with AI, with big data analytics, it is stronger than ever because they can track these billions of people and understand what they want even more so than what they know what they want. They have the total narrative. They have everything. They have people of all races, of all genders, of all personality types, all looks, all different types of noses, all different types of laughs to do their bidding. There are enough dumb yogis out there to serve Aloe and Lululemon. It's done, everybody. The army is there. The money is there. There are enough sellouts who will serve that purpose and who will enact what big data tells them that they need to do. Well, big data tells, the marketing team what to do, and the marketing team tells them what to do. And they do it, and they'll continue to do it. And they will only get more beautiful, stronger, better taught, better lineage, less problems in their history, less idiosyncrasies. It will get better and better. But at the end of that sales funnel is you buying a $200 pair of yoga pants. The end of that funnel is you going to the retreat or going to the Buddha Fest or going to Bhakti Fest, whatever the hell. That's the end of the funnel, everybody. The end of the funnel is not the end of suffering. That's the end of my funnel. The end of suffering, because that is possible. That's the end. But the desk jobbers will always fill the gap because there are a million of them. There are billions of them, like I just said. And they have the code. And what do I mean by the code? What do I mean by the code? So let's read a quote. And let me get the quote up. Let me make myself disappear. All right. There is no more needs fulfillment in postmodernity. Capitalism, driven by its capacity to provide, has seen to that. All that can promise us now is an endless series of futile attempts to accommodate that which cannot be accommodated. The satisfied need, ultimate joyance, death. And all right, everybody. So let me hop into all this. We're going deep. I don't think we've even done this before on this channel. So one day, this channel, who I am, is going to be exploited. Yogadelics, a marketing team, because yoga is a multi-billion-dollar industry. It is a $10 billion plus industry every single year. And there are marketing teams with groups of people who make six figures a year, and they are looking for the next big thing. They're looking for what is happening. And the way that they do that is they look at the bottom rung of people. They look at the people who are making splashes, but who really aren't making splashes. And that's what Instagram is a medium for. Instagram is a terrible social media platform. For instance, I could make a 1-minute video on Instagram and say, hey, everybody, I have this really cool free article on my website. And 500 people would see it. And this is the same analytics. Less than 2% of people would go visit the article. And YouTube and emails and Google and even Facebook have at least a 10% click-through rate. yoga, social media, I mean, 2% is, I think, actually a highball estimate. Sometimes it's even less than 1% of people actually go click on the link on Instagram. But what Instagram does is help gauge a feel. It helps shows us an aesthetic, the vibe, what is happening. And what these companies can do is then exploit that. They can then send in their employees, their yoga agents, to then enact that philosophy, or they can find people to hire. But once again, they are doing that to enact a sales funnel, to send you down this funnel. And we need to escape their codes. We need to escape the idea of being coded. And an easier example for this is the black community. The black community invented hip hop, and they invented all these different types of styles. But then what did the clothing companies do? They, like Nike, and they would take the same styles that were being done with authentic and original people in the ghetto, and then sell back those same prices, or create clothing and then upmark those things and then sell it back to those communities and exploit them and exploit everybody else. They'd sell the same styles back for $100 for jeans, for baggy jeans, or $150 for some Air Jordans or some Nikes. That's as simple. That's what's going to start happening in yoga. And we, over the last decade on Instagram, have given them enough data analytics for a lifetime, for at least a couple more decades. They know what we want. They know what we like. They know what type of people we like. They know don't rock the boat, say a lot of buzzwords, say peace, love, oneness, getting over trauma healing. There's all these different buzzwords, and they have now exploited that. And you can watch the trends happen. We saw this with racial justice with all these companies. They don't care about that. They're selling you $200 yoga pants. Guess what? We haven't even you don't need anything to do yoga. My Manduka mat for 10 years ago that I've dragged around the world and used thousands of times is perfectly fine. One yoga mat, it cost me less than $100 back then. I have hand-me-down blocks. Think about a yoga wheel for $40. I have some resistance bands that cost $20. We're talking less than $200 worth of equipment that has lasted me 10 years. Easy. Nothing else was required. Especially equipment, right? And male and females can wear the same stuff. Females can also wear t-shirts and normal shorts. You don't need to wear leggings for yoga. If you want to wear leggings, that's fine. It's a very comfortable thing. But do they need to be the $200 aloe leggings? These are all very important questions, everybody. And so how do we escape this code, though? They have the program, and we have given it to them, and they have people researching it and creating it, and they have an army of millions of free Insta yogis giving it to them every single day. All the data they need. How do we break free from that? The way we break free is through pushing back through our own content, through independent content that is authentic, that gives out messages, that cuts through and exploits. We have to perform guerrilla warfare on a psychological level with these people. There's this, like I said, there's this group of people who are traumatized, who need help, who have a hurt back, and they're coming into this. And guess what? They all know that the yoga pants, that $200 yoga pants and all these yoga mats and all these courses and corporate yoga studios, everyone knows it's BS. Everyone knows. If you talk to them, they'll tell you, yeah, man, this is really dumb. But they do it to assimilate into a community. They do it to feel loved, to feel a part of something, to feel valued. And we need to create our own system of value. We need to create our own system of support, independent of that. And the way to do that is through having people share and synergize what they know with yoga and encouraging them to do that. Like how I have done on this channel and maybe some other people have done. Who you are and what you have and what you can tell us is very important for yoga. Once you learn the principles of yoga, then you can go tackle that niche market of yogis. Once you know, if you're a nurse and you understand what nurses need in terms of yoga and meditation and pranayama, you can go deliver them that information. But you don't deliver them this BS. You deliver them, for whom does the grail serve? You give them the real information. You show them the yogic texts. You show them higher consciousness. You take them to the deep waters, man. You show them how to heal trauma. You take them all the way. You don't take them halfway so you can sell them something. You take them all the way, no matter what. You dedicate yourself to that. That is how we are going to do this, everybody. Everybody has a role in this. Everybody has a certain style and unique capability to touch a certain group of people, even if it's only just a small group of people. That's the solution, everybody. And this is going to require massive action. And that's why I'm releasing 10,000 yoga videos, because you already know at the start of those yoga videos, I'm going to have a little 20-second hook that says everything I've already said in the last 16 minutes, hopefully summarized in 20 seconds. So, all right, before we get into solutions a little bit more, why is this bad? Well, I mean, it's corrupting, once again, a great personal development system, but what else starts happening with yoga? There's actually some negative attributes that start happening in yoga. And one is spiritual narcissism, man. And we could call this ego inflation, spiritual narcissists. And there is a certain self-centeredness in yoga that happens because yoga is a great way to delete certain things, parts of traumatic experiences and stuff within our DNA, so, memories to create a new life. But when things get deleted, something needs to fill the void. And in our society, in the spiritual community, what fills that void for a lot of people is more self-centeredness and more ambition. More ambition to then become a yoga teacher, to then start running workshops, to then live the tropical yoga lifestyle, and to become a digital nomad, and to drop out, and to just survive off of affiliate links. This is the goal of many people. And that pathing that they take doesn't need to happen. But the reason it's happening is because they do not have sankalpas, which is in Sanskrit means affirmations. Because when I am undergoing a yogic process, I am not inputting anything that requires more self-centeredness, that creates more self-centeredness, that creates more spiritual narcissism, that inflates my ego anymore. Once again, I've talked about this a million times. If you are on Instagram and you're just posting photos of yourself and you're not doing anything, if you're not trying to change the yoga world and hit millions of people, you're probably suffering from a form of spiritual narcissism or self-centeredism created by yoga or from past trauma. You're probably suffering from that. I mean, it's hard to say. I know a lot of people aren't going to be happy to hear that, but let's talk about yoga studios. I know a lot of people who are great yoga teachers, better than I'll ever be, but they help a small niche group of people, and those people then go home and then don't help anybody else. Their bodies feel better. They feel a little bit happier. They might be a little bit more peaceful, but that's the end of the line. So much wasted talent with these teachers. Why are they doing this? Why are they so scared? And it's because to step into the role of serving something greater. Like I said, we don't have to talk about God here, everybody. Something greater as in the end goal of yoga, the end of suffering. We're just going to keep saying that. The end of suffering, general suffering from violence, emotional and physical abuse, not, mourning or like random accidents or just, typical parts of life, like your kids leaving home or your dad dying or something, or your cat dying. What are these yoga studios doing to promote that? People learn some yoga and they go home. There are no revolutionary aspects to any of these yoga studios. It just adds them, once again, into this cycle. It's all about a sales funnel cycle. Let's make them feel good and get them coming back. They need me. They need us. Where are the teachers? Where are the people stepping up and starting to try to end these systems of exploitation? Is it the hippies? Is it the people out there? I mean, obviously it's not the hippies. It's obviously not the van life people. It's not the people out there. This requires massive action, everybody. This requires not to sell out. It requires not to support any of these systems, even yoga studios, man. Like, there's so many great teachers in my city, and I'm not going to that studio because I know that there's a millionaire investor. I know that at the end of the day, they're not really doing anything. I'm not doing anything yet either, but my goal is to create an army of yogis who will do something, who will step up and actually say what needs to be said. And what needs to be said is that, you're so enlightened. You did it. Your body's healed. You're free. You're peaceful. Now what are you going to do about it? Are you going to go help 10 people in your yoga class every day and make $30 fucking dollars? Or are you going to go help millions of people and make millions of dollars? That's what people don't understand, is that they're selling themselves short even in life. That, guess what? Wanting some money and some security is not bad. Money is just a way to show value that you created. And if you helped millions of people around the world learn yoga and wake up, and those people help millions of people, you should be a multimillionaire. You should have money and a nice house and nice cars and all these nice things that you want, because you actually put the effort in and were smart enough to do that. But if you're only teaching 10 people at your local yoga studio, you should be only making $20 a class, because you're not really helping anybody, and those people aren't helping people. There is no effect. There is no real butterfly effect occurring. Solid action needs to be taken to prevent this. Affirmations, sankalpas, a certain fortitude and stature needs to be created in every individual yogi for when they open themselves up, that they are not exploited themselves. So everybody, that is where I'm at right now. That is my general feeling about where we're at and where we're trying to go with yoga. How are you guys doing? Checking in with everybody. I only have 75 subscribers on here, but whoever is listening, how are you guys doing? This is going to be the end of kind of yoga bashing for a little bit. We're going to do a little bit of, well, I'll just tell you what we're going to do. We're going to have a Yoga Sutras course. That's going to be sick. Going to have a learning Sanskrit course and a learning anatomy course. A bunch of yoga asana classes. More integration of Western philosophy and psychoanalytical thought with yoga. That's going to be happening. And hopefully just a huge boom in the content on this page, and then hopefully an inspiration of others, because I can't do this myself. Once again, it's like we have to become the AI. We have to become the yoga corporations who are non-hierarchical. We have to act like them. We have to have just as much oomph and mind and manpower as they do. But we just don't have an agenda. Our agenda is just to help people and to end suffering. So that's my goal, everybody, to kick this party off. So comment down below. Let me know how you're doing. I'm sorry for anyone who I haven't responded to or talked to. You know, I've lost contact with some people, and it's just because I've been really focused on reading and writing and my literature channel more. So I'm ready, though, for yoga. I'm ready, and thank you guys for being here.